Hey, what's up, everybody? BDO44 coming at you with another video. This is a tough video to make, man, because the Los Angeles Lakers lost Game 3, 119-108, and the Lakers are down 0-3, facing elimination now. Facing elimination in the Western Conference Finals. Got to congratulate the Denver Nuggets, the better team. Nuggets. Got to put more than one. It wasn't just one guy down there beating us. Yeah, man, I wrote down all the stats. Going to give you what I got, but I'm bummed out. I really wanted to see our team go out in a very triumphant way this season. I thought we had the best roster. Still do, but it doesn't matter if you can't get it done. And that is exactly what we could not do. So let's go through the quarter by quarter look here. Let's get a little pep in our step here. Obviously, we had 119-108 being the score. So the first quarter was really just basically about the Denver Nuggets establishing themselves once again. 32-20. Jamal Murray came out and just knocked us down real early. Couldn't do nothing about that. It was basically just him doing his best Kobe impersonation. Scored 30 points in the first half. So in the second quarter, we ended up picking up our scoring a bit. Had 35 points there, but to their 26. So we definitely found ourselves closing the gap. But then to start the third quarter, we came back with some things that didn't really work for us, but ultimately won the quarter 26-27. I hope that's a 7. I think that's a 7. And in the fourth quarter, the doors kind of swung open. Our execution kind of went left, and we allowed them a 35-point quarter to our 26 to close the game. Boy, did we go out sad. I ain't gonna even hold you, man. We went out sad. And for us to have had the season we had thus far, because of course there's another game to play, Game 4, but for us to get this far, you first of all want to say you're proud of the team for even being able to get this far. We overcame a lot to get here, and I understand we were up against a lot. We could have the excuse of having run out of gas. I thought lethargy played a big part in what happened here tonight. Our guys started slow. And you know, to be honest with you, Coach knows that there were some things that he shouldn't have did, and we've talked about this all season long about certain things that you have to do or not do just to lean into success, and certain things that we've seen, tendencies that we know don't work, or what I've identified as his affinity for kind of letting struggling players work out of their struggles, or allowing them to be more of like, I believe in you, go for it. And I just think that trait is really also something that kind of hurt us in this series a big time with D'Angelo Russell struggling. He just came back to D'Angelo Russell in the second half after having more of the same play out as it had throughout the course of this series with D'Lo. And I just thought that, not to say that D'Lo really played bad when we came out of the locker room, because I don't think he particularly played horrible, but he continued to miss shots. And it was just one of those situations where I felt like going into the locker room having all the momentum that we had, given the fact that we had cut the lead all the way, their lead all the way to 3, and it tied the game up. I think, and maybe this is just my own, like me actually feeling this way, but I felt like he really took, and I say he meaning Coach Ham, kind of took some of the life out of the team by returning to something that we all know he should not have returned to, when he had done the same thing in Game 1, having returned to the small ball lineup coming out of the locker room. It's like, bro, are you serious? It's that kind of energy. And I felt like the team kind of had that coming out of the locker room, to be honest with you. And, you know, I just felt like we had things working against us that we did to ourselves all season long. Self-inflicted wounds that we did all year long, that we've discussed so much on this channel. And just like I predicted all season long, we did those things when you can't afford to do those things, when it matters the most. And that's just what it is. You are who you are at the end of the day. That's really what I took from this Laker team. They had certain traits that they had all year long, where I would rant about them being food for killers, so to speak, where they don't have that competitive nature to where they're going to take it to a killer and really like overcome him. And I said to us so many times that I thought that we would ultimately find ourselves beaten by someone like that because of these traits that we have to do things that we know don't work or get away from things that we know do work for the sake of minutes mentality or contractual concerns. And I just felt like in the end, that's what hurt the Lakers. In the end, that's what killed the Lakers was minutes mentality, superstar prioritization, and the confusion that comes with superstars struggling with getting out of the way and allowing other guys to do things. Like that whole war with that, the ego of the superstar. Should I take the shot? Should I let somebody else take the shot? Allowing that person to take the shot and they didn't hit the last one, so this one I can't allow him to take. And that whole war with the ego was just something that really hurt the Lakers. The roster was fantastic, but if you have a coach that doesn't have a system that allows you to use the size that you have and a bunch of beliefs that negate that size, you can do small ball throughout the regular season, overcome it against small teams like Golden State. But when you really actually go up against a team that really has size and you bring those traits to the table, it's going to do what we said it's going to do all season long, friends. And that is what's happened here. So, in the end, after 100+ games of watching the Lakers, the traits that they held throughout the regular season were the traits that they brought into this series, and Denver was the wrong team to do that to. And that's why the Lakers are down 0-3 right now. So let's look at the Denver Nuggets. Let's look at the Lakers numbers. We'll compare the field goals and stuff like that. Then we'll get into the stats, and then we'll move on out of this situation here. So the Denver Nuggets shot pretty well, 50% from the field, 44 out of 88. The Lakers shot 38 out of 84. So the attempts were fairly comparable. We only shot 4 less attempts, but they did shoot better than us. And then the three-point differential is what you'll find is where we lost. 17 out of 41 for them, 10 out of 32 for us. So that 41.5% for them, 31.3% for us. So that's really where we lost it, to be honest with you. Free throw, the difference in the free throws, 14 of 19 for them, 22 of 29 for us. So that's held firm. We still got to the line enough. Didn't hit enough of them. 7 missed free throws. You can definitely look at that. And definitely see that definitely didn't help your cause there, Lakers. Missing as many free throws as we did. That hurts bad. We won the rebound in total, and we kept them off the offensive glass. So that was a big thing for our team. Not that it means anything at all when you're down 0-3, but as it pertains to just wanting to see improvement, that was a huge hurdle for us in this series, and in the last one for that matter too. So, okay, defensive rebounding, we tied their defensive rebounds with 34. Assists, they got us 30-27. Steals, they had significantly more steals, 7-3. They had 1 block, we had 2. Not enough. Turnovers, they had 6, we had 12. That's also where you can definitely see we lost the game for sure. And they had 8 points given off of their turnovers. We gave up 13 off of ours. They got us in the fast break, 19-15. So us getting back transition, still not very good there. And then the points in the paint, we had 52 points in the paint. They had 38. So we did keep their points out of our paint low, but they made up for it behind the arc just the same. So it wasn't nothing to look at there. And yeah, that is what we're seeing. The largest lead of the game was 14 for the Denver Nuggets and 2 for the LA Lakers. And that is what I have in regards to this comparison stats. There's 19-18, but I didn't write down what exactly that 19 meant and that 18 meant. So I am sorry. I think that might be fouls. I believe that might be the foul differential. I think they had 19 and I think we had 18. I believe that's what that is. All right, so I'm going to look at the stats. Of course, for me, if you come to my channel in these playoffs, I go with the team that won first. We're homers, but we're not haters. Aaron Gordon, 32 minutes, had 7 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, no steals, and 1 block on the night with 1 turnover, a +6 for his team. I think his team was very happy to see him hit a corner shot. It says he didn't hit a 3, but I saw him hit a 3. So I'm confused by that. But nevertheless, if we saw the corner shot fall for him, I'm pretty sure that had something to do with why things worked out. They just needed a little more space for Jokic, and they got it in that fourth quarter particularly. Kevin Porter Jr., Michael Porter Jr. Why I always want to call that man Kevin? Michael Porter Jr., power forward for the Denver Nuggets, who was really, really good tonight. His three-point shot, we had to respect so much, and I think he's a big reason why we're not successful at all in this series. You just have to respect him too much. In that fourth quarter, we were like trying to fight to try to hedge over to him to make sure we covered him, and as a result, they were able to make extra passes. You just saw other guys just make shots. KCP was big in the fourth quarter. Green was huge in the fourth quarter. So you just saw the Denver Nuggets just overall play better than the Lakers once again. With Porter having 38 minutes to play, 14 points, 10 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal. No turnovers accredited to him at all. Plus 9 on the night. 4 of 11 from the field, 4 of 10 from behind the arc, and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. So his 4 threes and the volume three-point shooting really hurt us. I think he attempted just enough threes to keep his team where they needed to be. Jokic with 38 minutes of play. Kind of a quiet night for Jokic through 3 quarters because he had foul trouble, but in the fourth quarter really showed up and showed out like the NBA great that he is. 24 points, 6 rebounds, 8 assists, 1 steal, 2 turnovers, a plus 15, 9 of 19 from the field, 2 of 5 from the 3, and 4 of 7 from the free throw line. So Jokic just had a really regular night. Definitely contributed to success for his team. Hit some big threes on the road. I'm sure he'd love to have those 3 free throws back, but very, very comfortable night for Jokic. I don't think he had too much trouble at all, with the exception of the foul trouble he was in. His team basically won all the non-Jokic minutes. They were just a better team on the floor without him, just like they were with him. So that's just it. The end with that. Jamal Murray, 42 minutes. Definitely the guy who was the star of the night. 37 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, 2 steals, only 1 turnover, a plus 18, 15 from 29 from the field, 5 of 11 from the 3, 2 of 2 from the field. Jamal Murray is a lot better than anybody thinks outside of Denver. I believe that. After watching him play in these playoffs and the way that he's killing this team, that is one of the most lethal killers alive today. And he was that before he got hurt with that knee too. So if he goes on and win a championship, I won't be surprised because that dude is lethal. Absolutely lethal. And from here on out, we will understand him as such. And so that's all there is to it. Jamal Murray surprised me with how healthy he is, but not with how he's playing. Nah, this is who they drafted him to be with the 3rd overall pick. And he has developed into one of the greatest playoff performers alive today. So I think Jamal Murray is the man. I don't think it's no shame in getting shot down by him going forward as we look back on this series. I don't think it's going to be no shame in losing to this dude or Jokic. Those dudes about to be NBA champions unless Jimmy stops them or unless the Boston stops them. I don't see that happening. I definitely don't see us winning this series coming back from 0-3. It's never been done in the NBA. And so as tired and as lethargic as my team look, I will give us one more game to fight. You know what I mean? I'm not going to concede nothing until it's absolutely over. But we always play the percentages here. This is basketball. We're playing the percentages. And there's a 0% of anybody coming back from 0-3 in this league. So that's just what it is. Jamal Murray is a killer and deserves all the high praise through 3 games of these series. He's a Laker killer, and it ain't close. And he was the best player on the floor tonight. He was the best player on the floor tonight for both teams, easily. So that's what I want to say there. KCP, the NBA champion of the Lakers. We still don't hate you, KCP. Thank you for the championship you gave us back at the bubble. We hate the fact that you had to talk ish and we couldn't back it up, but it is what it is. Obviously, the 2020 NBA championship team was better than this one. Obviously. We can't argue that. And we're not going to. So, NBA champion KCP had 34 minutes, 17 points, 3 rebounds, 2 steals, 1 turnover accredited. -1, 6 of 10 from the field, 4 of 7 from the 3. You definitely got to circle that, and 1 of 2 from the free throw line. So that's what KCP did to us in a very important basketball game. Coming back to this building, as I told you guys, he's very comfortable here, shooting here. And if I was a Denver fan, I wouldn't be worried about him hitting shots in this building. And it played itself out exactly the way I was worried it would. I said if he got over 20 points, we didn't have a chance. 17 was damn close, especially with Murray going for 37. 30 in the first half. So KCP just contributed to why this team is better than us, despite me saying otherwise. Straight up. Jeff Green, even though he didn't have huge stats, his impact on this game was phenomenal. If you ask me, them was 23 of the most impactful minutes they got out of their bench all series long. 5 points, 4 rebounds, 1 assist, no turnovers, +5, 2 or 3 from the field, and 1 or 2 from behind the arc. And the 3 that he hit, it's the 3 that he hit that I think was the backbreaker for the Lakers, because we needed him to miss that shot. We had covered everything else, and we just needed him to miss that shot, and he didn't miss it. And so that's what it is. The shot making in the fourth quarter of these games in the Denver Nuggets, with the Denver Nuggets, has been just superior to the LA Lakers. They are a better shot making team without any question or concern. Christian Braun also had 3 minutes of play, only was accredited with 1 rebound, but those 3 minutes were loud because he came in and threw somebody to the ground or something. I don't remember how it went, but I think he came in and had a huge foul on Braun or something. So it was one of those situations where you remember him out there for the little time he was out there. And, of course, the last guy, but not least, definitely not least, was Bruce Brown, who just been slaughtering us all playoffs, all series long. I told y'all he was somebody I was worried about because he doesn't have many weaknesses, and he's killing us. 15 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, no turnovers at all. A +6, 6 of 11 from the field, 1 of 5 from behind the arc, and 2 of 2 from the free throw line. Him playing this well has just made us, we're just getting outclassed, man. I hate to say this because I'm the guy who's been telling y'all the Lakers are better. I want to see Denver. I want to see Denver. Well, the universe has been very cruel to me because Denver's going to sweep my team, it looks like, and there ain't been no question about who's been better. And it's not because I think they have more than we do. It's just because when we shove up 8 players to the top of the list versus the 8 players that they're shoving to the top of the list, it is all there is to say. They're a better 8-man team. They're a much better 8-man team. And that is what it is. We tried to find our best 8, and we didn't come up with nothing that could even remotely compete with them on a level at this stage of the season. I blame a lot of what we're dealing with in regards to us not being as cohesive with this team, We've had so many games where our big 2 were not on the floor throughout the course of the tenure they've been with the Lakers for injuries and different things, so they're not as together as Denver is right now. Load management and scheduled losses throughout the course of the season has left my team at a space where they really didn't have it like that. And I just felt like we were beat by a more capable basketball club tonight. More capable. They just had it, man. They're better than us, period. As much as I'd hate to say this, it's easier for me to come up here and say I was wrong than it is for me to come up here and stick my chest out and continue on the same nonsense I was on. It just ain't what it is. It's just not what it is. You know what I mean? Period. What I said it was ain't that. Denver's better, and they're proving it through 3 games. And if it was the other way around, I would stick my chest out and tell you something opposite. But that ain't what happened. Denver's proving me wrong. They're better than the Lakers, man. They're better than the 2022 LA Lakers, bro. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just got to man up and tell the truth, bro. That's it. Ain't deeper than that. So let's look at the Lakers, man. We put out a good fight. Like I said, I'm proud of my guys. You know what I'm saying? I don't think it's any shame in getting beat down by this Denver team now that I'm seeing what they're becoming. And you just gotta give credit where you can and just kind of move on, man. Because if you beat up people on a night like this, I don't think you make it better. To be honest with you, I don't. This ain't the night to scream at people and tell them that they need to get. It's just not. It's really not. And so I'm just gonna do my best here. AD, 42 minutes of play. I thought he played really well, man. I didn't think AD dropped the ball tonight. He was pretty good. 28 points, 18 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 blocks, 1 turnover, a -12, 11 out of 18 field goals, 0 from the arc, and 6 out of 8 free throws. So I really think he showed up, man. I'm kind of disappointed seeing the -12. It doesn't represent what I thought I saw there. With only 1 turnover missed, 7 field goals missed. But, I mean, I thought he crashed the glass pretty damn hard and was a big reason why we were successful in that way. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, we really did a good job on both sides of the floor with Anthony Davis. 42 minutes of play. He did some good things. Maybe we could have got some more out of the blocks there. 28 points with 18 attempts. I'm happy he upped his attempts some. I don't think he was selfish. You know what I mean? So I thought he played balanced. I thought he played within what it is that we asked him to do. I know he's going to get probably beat down for not playing, more. Maybe there were some technical things that I wasn't paying attention to in this 42 minutes. But from my eyesight, he was the best player on the floor for us. He really was. So let's keep it moving. Vando, 14 minutes of play, 2 points, 1 rebound, no turnovers, -10, 1 of 4 from the field, 0 of 1 from behind the arc. We just could not get nothing out of Vando in this series. And I look at the minutes, he only averaged like maybe 11 minutes in the series. Just completely mismanaged, man. It's a big indictment on Darvin Ham's coaching, is not being able to utilize Vando in his system. That's huge, man. Because Vando is one of those guys that I want on my team for the next 20 years, yo. So if you can't use him, what the hell? He's a Swiss Army knife that plays both sides of the floor and is a pretty solid playmaker. When I say both sides of the floor, meaning he can help you playmaking and offensive rebounding if he's not scoring and shooting the ball. And on the defensive end, he's got defensive genius to him. And we couldn't really utilize him and didn't have him on the floor enough to help us. We're going to talk about that as we go forward, because that really is a big problem for me. Not to say that I want to get rid of Vando. Not at all. And that's the problem. So, LBJ, 43 minutes of play, 23 points, 7 rebounds, 12 assists, no steals, no blocks, 3 turnovers, a -12. No, that is wrong. A -4. I started looking at somebody else's stats. Got to keep my eyes on the ball here. So where we leave off, 12 assists, no steals, no blocks, 2 turnovers, -4, 8 of 19 from the field, 3 of 9 from behind the arc, and 4 of 7 from the free throw line. So the threes that he hit were good threes. That's what I want to say. The 2 threes that he hit back-to-back in the fourth quarter, I thought they were in rhythm. Dennis Schroeder, I think, made him a chest pass, hit him in the, I think it was in the corner with the second 3, and I forgot who got him the pass to the 3 at the top of the key that he hit. Those were good rhythm threes. He hit them. They were nice. And I don't remember the third one, but it was also a swish. It looked good. The threes that he missed were the threes he shouldn't have taken. Simply put, the threes he missed were actually the ones I thought were poorly selected. The ones that he made were the ones that were given to him in ways that ultimately are shots he often hits when he gets a chest pass in rhythm from a point guard. Those are the ones he usually hits. So, all in all, I didn't think LeBron played too bad, man. I thought he was really keeping us in the game. I thought he was feeling his body out there. He looked a little old, you know what I mean? It just is what it is, man. But I thought he played a good floor game. I think his assists has been great over these last 2 games. He has, 22 assists in 2 games. So he's been really good there. I thought his defense has been as good in these playoffs as it's been since he's been a Laker. Honestly, these last 2 series, he's just been stellar on the defensive end. I think it's probably catered to why he's been bad shooting the ball, because he's exerting more energy on the defensive end that he normally conserves for the offensive end in the regular season. And I think that's also something you got to look at here when you assess these 3 games. The Denver Nuggets forced us through the adjustments we were forced to make to do things that we were not comfortable doing, trying to defend them and score on them. So that's another thing you got to give Mike Malone credit for. It's just how complicated he made things for Darvin Ham and how well he coached this series thus far. I just feel like we were asking our guys to do stuff we ain't asked them to do all season long. And the only reason why that was is because Denver left us no choice. It's God's honest truth. So I was looking for a way to respect Denver, man. And I learned how to. I had to ignore the fact that they got a bunch of players on their bench that they dare not see. And that doesn't negate away from the fact that they are a good team. Why? Because a good team knows how to get rid of crap that doesn't work and still win. You see what I'm saying? It's like a clarity thing for me. It's like a eureka explosion. I've learned something watching this series. You can have a better team than a team that has more players that are better, so long as you can keep those players healthy and identify what doesn't work, remove it, and then have enough from within the 8 that you have to do great things. The risk that you run, though, is you can't afford foul trouble and you can't get hurt. So Denver still has that problem going forward, but they certainly didn't have that problem with the Lakers. They're healthy. They shoved all their best stuff to the front, hid all the stuff that they didn't want it to see, and as a result, what they put on the floor is better than the Lakers. Period. That's what I wish I could tell myself 2 weeks ago or a week ago. But I had no way of knowing that until I saw the Lakers get on the floor, not be good, versus the Denver Nuggets, who were able to prove that to me through 3 games. So that's what I've learned. That's what I've learned, man. Denver is better. It doesn't matter that they have a bunch of crap that they don't want to use. It doesn't matter that we have a bunch of stuff that we don't use that we would love to use. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that they get enough luck in the health category and in the foul court category to never have to expose any of that crap. So that's the truth. That is absolutely the truth. Was there some more stats to look at? Yes, there were. D'Angelo Russell in 20 minutes of play had 3 points, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks, 3 turnovers, a -12, 1 of 8 from the field, 1 of 6 from the 3, 0 from the free throw line. He did not have a good game, and I have a lot of stuff I wanted to assess that if I speak too fast, I will neglect those things. But D'Lo really did not perform well in these playoffs, and going back to him in the second half, I felt demoralized, the team has already said, and playing him initially to start the game also provided us a great deal of lethargy, which was the same thing we had seen in the first 2 games as well. So again, just like I said with Vando and how we utilize Vando, I'm looking at how we utilize D'Lo, and I'm not so thrilled with that when considering Darvin. So we keep it pushing, and we will get back to D'Lo because there's really some more stuff to consider. Austin Reeves in 40 minutes of play. I thought Austin was also fantastic. When I was saying that AD was the best player on the floor, I was trying to assess if I wasn't to say that Austin might have been too, because he had a really nice game, man. 23 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal, 4 turnovers. Unfortunately, he led the team there. But had a -15, also led the team there. So, hey, Austin, buddy, we love what we saw from you, but unfortunately in some very key categories, we saw that the effectiveness wasn't on paper. But all in all, the shooting was good. 7 of 10 from the field, 3 of 5 from the 3, and 6 of 6 from the free throw line. So what do I know, right? Plus minus tells me the turnovers were not good, but at the end of the day, his productivity is present in 40 minutes of play, and I loved what I saw from the kid all season long. And if the Lakers lose him, it will be Depression City for a very long time here. So this is my reigning support for the re-signing of Austin Reeves, even if it costs us $80 million. I want Austin Reeves on my team, and I want the Lakers to re-sign him. And if he wants to be here, we want him here. So that's what I got to say about Austin Reeves. Rui Hachimura, 34 minutes, 13 points, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 turnover, -3, 5 of 12 from the field, 1 of 3 from behind the arc, 2 of 2 from the free throw line. I thought Rui played pretty good. I thought he played really good. I just think that there were times where Rui was a little too hasty. The lack of basketball in his past in the NBA kind of hurt him in the moments when we needed not to in the most. He was our most efficient shooter, but he also made certain key mistakes that really left us no wiggle room. And I heard someone say the margin for error for the Denver Nuggets was much wider. Rui's concerns with not being willing to pass the rock and not having floor vision, just kind of having tunnel vision as it pertains to getting this bucket, I think hurt us in that way. But just the same, he's aggressive. So sometimes you need somebody to have tunnel vision. And in the times when we needed someone to have tunnel vision, he had it. So I really like Rui Hachimura as a player. I'm excited about his future with the Lakers as well. And just like Austin Reeves, I think we should be willing to pay Rui to get him back on this team and make sure that he's a part of what we're doing. Because at the end of the day, his size is something that can't be wrestled with by a lot of players who are going to be forced to try to guard him. Also, he really didn't have a lot of trouble with a lot of very, very good teams in these playoffs. Even though we didn't utilize him to what it is we could have done, from game to game to game, every team we saw in these playoffs had significant trouble with him. And so I know that we didn't play him as much because we had our LeBron James and AD to consider, Vando also to consider. I think some of his playing time reduction came from the idea that maybe they don't want to lose him, and if they play him too much, he'll inflate his value, so they have to pay him, you know what I mean? So that, I think, also kind of was part of the minutes mentality that infiltrated into our situation and ultimately cost us this series. Pretty much. That's the end of the thought. DS had 25 minutes of play, 5 points, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 turnover, a -6 on the night, 2 of 5 from the field, 0 of 2 from the 3, 1 of 2 from the free throw. Still didn't get him to the line. I tell you, every time we see that 1 or 2 with DS, it's a loss attached to that. We have to get him to the line more than 7 or 8 times, man. It's something that's consistent with what it is I've seen with this team. You just got to get this man to the line, driving at the rim consistently so he can not only draw the fouls but also provide that good free throw percentage that he can assist with. If we would have had those free throws that were missing from this situation, it probably would have made the difference in the win. Because ultimately, we see the score, we only lost by 11. So I just think that the Los Angeles Lakers put themselves in a position to not really have everything that they needed. And it really just came down to us trying to adjust to the Denver Nuggets, who put us in a very, very, very tough spot, trying to guard the players that they ultimately ran out there. And the referees didn't help. You know, we saw some real imbalance there in regards to the hard fouls that we were getting in the first half versus the touch fouls that the Denver Nuggets were getting. And that's about as much as I'll say to that, because I really didn't think it had too much on the game in the second half. But in the first half, I felt like we got some bad stuff going our way from those dudes. And, that's just it. But ultimately, the Los Angeles Lakers just came up short, man. I don't know what to tell people. You know what I mean? We took care of some things we really wanted to take care of and still lost. We wanted to get them on the offensive glass. You know what I mean? We want to make sure that we cut down their offensive rebounds, rather. That's key. Because they had been getting like 11 and 12 a game. We cut them to 5, still a loss. You know what I mean? Certain things we just did not see good stuff from our team. Ultimately, from the 3-point arc, you gotta be able to make up those points. If them boys tossing up 41 threes, you tossing up 32 ain't enough. You know? Especially if you're not attempting more field goals than them on top of that. So you could just see where the turnovers really hurt us, because it took away from our possessions. That's also part of what I'm looking at here on the stats. 12 turnovers were the difference, because them 12 turnovers turn into the difference in 3-point attempts. And that's just me, like, theoretically looking at all the attempts that they had from the 3, which was so much more than us. And then looking at the fact that we only had 4 less field goal attempts. So it's like, yeah, they was... I mean, it doesn't necessarily tell me that, but more or less you can kind of put together that they was basically getting in transition and hitting threes, or getting in transition and converting on shots. And as a result, the Lakers giving up those possessions weren't making up those possessions in anywhere. They weren't getting to the line enough to make up those possessions. They weren't attempting enough threes to get to those possessions. And they weren't getting in the lane enough to make up those possessions. So that's what it is, man. Them turnovers and them 3-point attempts for the Nuggets. You got Murray up there just hitting every shot. We couldn't do nothing with that dude at all, man. He definitely gets the game ball, ladies and gentlemen. With those 37 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists, and 2 steals. 15 of 29 shooting and 5 of 11 from the 3. And 30 points in the first half. You know, it's funny, man, because I've been watching a lot of Gilbert Arenas content. And when I look at him, I just remember what he did to us in regards to a particular regular season game where he outdueled Kobe Bryant when Kobe was literally going off he was in Kobe mode, like literally having one of those nights. And the only person I ever seen beat him when he was in that mode was Gil. And when I think about type of performances that have been done on this floor with opponents coming in, this might have been up there with the Gil's performance in my mind. In terms of, obviously it's bigger because the stakes are higher, but just to the eyesight, looking at basketball as an opponent's coming at you, killing you, knocking you off. I mean, this was one of the more impressive single performances I've seen, man. And I look back on some guys who've done some amazing things over the years. Don't get it twisted. We've had some hellacious opponents come in. But when you look at what the stakes are, on the road, coming in with a 2-0 lead, having already been shooting like crazy. I mean, you expect some regression on his shot, and he's only getting better against our defense. We're supposed to be the best defense in the league. He's carving us up. So when I say that he's putting on one of the most impressive performances that an op has ever knocked me out with, that's what I'm here to say. This dude put on one of the most impressive performances an op has ever knocked me out with. 37 points, and 30 of them came in the first half, and the man wasn't missing nothing. But it's not just about that. It's about the fact that he did that the game before that too, and wasn't missing nothing. And the game one, he did that too, and wasn't missing nothing. I'm telling you, man, sometimes you just gotta go like this. It ain't even about looking at your team and saying, nah, they just a pitiful loser. It's about that dude, Jamal Murray, coming in here with his big boy Jokic and proving to us that they the modern day Shaq and Kobe. And they about to go and get their ring. That's what I see. I don't see nothing else. So, you know what I mean? The Lakers, like I said, I'm proud of you guys for getting this far. I don't necessarily want to get into my feelings about the traits of the team and all that. I can get into that in a separate video when I'm in a different space of mind. Maybe I'll get a little more angry as I consider what's going on. But I just don't feel like bashing people right now. I really don't, man. I think our team has gone through enough. I think our guys are feeling sad. And there's a lot of aggression to be had. I'll give it to you in another video. But for this one, I just kind of feel like I've been humbled and I've learned something. I think I can take what I've gathered from this playoff series and really take it forward in terms of how I assess teams, in terms of how I assess who's good and who's not. I just think that I've gained a lot. This has been a humbling experience. Obviously, you might want to question my credibility given the fact that I've been so demonstrative about the Heat not being no good and Denver not being no good, and they're going to be in the finals. Hope I don't lose anybody that way. But what I want to encourage everybody to know is that I've taken a lot from this, and I've learned something, and you can clearly see where the NBA is in a very, very interesting position to earn a lot of betting money from this very, very improbable matchup that looks like it's about to happen, where a play-in tournament team is about to face the Denver Nuggets. And who knows what'll happen, but you just have to wonder if what we're seeing is as on the up and up as it is, or are we seeing some improbable manipulation that would allow for all this to take place? I'm not alleging that in this video. I've done enough of that in previous videos. But it does give you something to think about when you consider where we are in all the different conversations that we've had about this season. How I assess these two teams and the polar opposite of what we're seeing here. Do I look at myself and say, I just don't know what the hell I'm talking about? Does my arrogance tell me I know exactly what I'm talking about and this is some manipulated bullcrap? I think I'm somewhere in between, to be honest with you. I'm somewhere in between. But I'll tell you this. The Denver Nuggets have proven to me that they're a better basketball team than the Lakers. That part, I ain't got to worry about that. This could be this league, another league, any league. We can't guard them. And so that's I want people to know that. This ain't one of those where I'm like, the referees killed us, they manipulated. Nah. These two dudes could have played these two teams could have played the YMCA gym. And this is exactly how that would have turned out. I'm just going to be honest with you. So that's what I see there, man. Kudos to both teams for getting this far. Hopefully Denver, if they are a team that won't be the first team to blow a 3-0 lead, if they're the first team to not, how do I word this? If they don't blow this lead, which they probably will not, I do hope that they go on and win their first championship as a franchise. Despite all the stuff that's being said, despite all the energy that I've pushed out here, at the end of the day, I don't hate them as much as I hate the Celtics. Even after they beat my butt, I don't. Absolutely not. No. This ass whooping is not as bad as watching the Celtics hoist championship 18. It's just not. So, while I'm disappointed that we're not getting 18, I want to make damn sure to encourage the Denver Nuggets to do everything in their power to keep the Celtics from getting 18. Do that for sure. So that's really all I got to say, man. Malik Beasley did attempt a three-point shot that did not fall. Troy Brown came in. Had 2 points, 1 board, and a +2. Lonnie Walker had 19 minutes. I thought he played really well with 9 points, 1 rebound, 2 assists. No steals, no blocks, no turnovers on a -3. 2 of 5 from the field, 2 of 4 from the 3, 3 of 4 from the free throw line. So I thought he was really good, man. And I hope Lonnie Walker finds himself in a position next year to have a real role with a real coach that believes in him and doesn't play with his minutes like our coach did. Look at all the production we could have got from Lonnie Walker if we would have used him leading up to this point. Same thing with Rui. Same thing with some of the other guys we use. I think about Wenyen Gabriel, who didn't get a single minute in this series, and we asked him to do so much throughout the season when we weren't anything at all. Same with Troy Brown, guys we asked to play hard for us, leading here that we didn't give this opportunity to. I wouldn't have did it. I would not have did that to y'all. I'm just gonna put it like that. As a fan, I wanted to see y'all get this experience and get as many minutes as you could have to help us tonight. And I believe that Wenyen Gabriel would have helped us a lot tonight. I believe Max Christie would have helped us a lot tonight. I believe Cole Swider would have helped us a lot tonight. Tristan Thompson, Shaq Harrison. I believe in this team as it pertains to the individual players that Rob Pelinka's put on this roster. Malik Beasley in a better situation would have helped us tonight. I think Malik Beasley needs to be on a floor with big players. The biggest problem we had with Malik Beasley is that we kept putting him on the floor in small ball lineups that didn't have any defense or any rim protection attached to it. And then when you put him in these situations, you identify that he's not able to hit shots, his morale goes down, and then from there we never see him play well again. But when he got here, he was somebody capable of hitting 8 and 9 threes and winning games for us. How the hell did you turn him into that, Darvin? How did you turn Vando into this, Darvin? See what I'm saying? I want to keep that out of this series, keep this out of this video. But that's what ends up happening when you start thinking about things like this. But that's really what it comes down to. We just didn't have a better team. I think a big part of that was how we used that team. And I think if we had a bit more leadership with how we were doing that, and a bit more guidance in regards to how to use this roster, then we wouldn't have been outplayed as poorly as we have through 3 games in this series. I think the schedule had a lot to do with that. The altitude had a lot to do with that. The Denver Nuggets had a lot to do with that, being a better overall closing basketball club, a more efficient shooting basketball club, an overall better offensive basketball team, an overall better rebounding basketball team. And I want to be on record saying that I thought the Denver Nuggets played very good defense tonight. I thought they played very good defense tonight. So let me go on the record and say that they did some good defensive things too. So that's it, man. That is where I'm at. I think this has been a good day overall in regards to content with the Lakers. You know, I didn't feel bad about coming in saying that I believed in the team earlier. I still feel the same way. I'd like to once again congratulate all of the Lakers and Rob Pelinka and everybody for getting this far. You've made us very happy all season long in regards to this, so I don't want any of my frustration throughout the course of the season to take away from how much I appreciate that we made the trades we did and got better, that we got players on this team that I can't wait to see play next season, that I hope we are able to re-sign, that we got the 17th overall pick, that we didn't trade that away and we can use it somehow and maybe even bring in some players that'll help us. So it's a lot more to be happy about right now. And the reason why that is because we did get this far. You know what I mean? If we would have fizzled out in the first round, believe me, the energy would have been different. If we would have lost in the play-in tournament, believe me, the energy would have been different. But I'm a balanced enough and happy enough Laker fan to know that, damn it, I'm in the Western Conference Finals. You know how many times I wasn't in the Western Conference Finals? This is a good time to be alive as a Laker fan. Even though we lost the game, we still have another opportunity to keep fighting. And maybe unprecedented things can happen. You know, the Boston Red Sox never thought they were going to come back from down 3-0. And they did. And they were the first team to do it as far as I could tell in baseball. It's never done in basketball. Okay. It's never been done in basketball. I don't expect it to happen now. But somebody, someday, is going to do it. And so that's really what it comes down to. If you want to be that team, go out there and prove you are that team. If not, you'll be like the rest of them and we'll go home. You know what I mean? And it's okay. Because you just got beat by 3 times by the same team. So if you don't go out there and win 4 straight, believe you me, it ain't going to be nobody over here putting money on that. But I'm going to tell you, just like I tell anybody else in this situation, there's still more basketball to play. You take one game at a time. You take one possession at a time. You work on the things you need to work on, and you let the rest be what it's going to be. That's all you can do, man. And give yourself an opportunity to win this game so that you can have some pride going into the offseason, so that nobody can say that they swept you. You know what I mean? So that nobody can say you came in and then rolled over. And that's what you're playing for at this point. I don't think we've rolled over. I think we've played some close games. I think we've had leads in this series. I think we've done some good things. I just think we did some things that we're prone to do. And that's the essence of showing and displaying who you are, is doing the things that you are prone to do. We are as good as we are, and this is as far as we get. My name is BDL44. I thank you all for watching. I'm out.